My name is Arvind, and I'm going to show you how to make this pop-up card. So for these edges, I used a machine or a tool to make these edges that it's available from Michael's or Joann's, but the small ones you can also even buy from dollar store. And for example, you can use something like this, and all you have to do is just press it, and you get something, this nice pattern right here. And you can choose, and if the senior center was still open and this pandemic was gone, we would come and bring all these tools for you guys to experiment with. But it's just there for decoration purposes. Okay, so for this edge, I use this tool like this from Joann. And if you press it down like so, you will get this nice pattern. And you can keep moving it up, down, sideways, upside down, and keep cutting with it. And there's even some for the corners edges, which you can use something like this. And if you press it down, you get something like this, right here. So the basic materials you'll need to make these cards without, or maybe with, the side cutters is you'll need some glue, a ruler, scissors, some construction paper, 2 large sheets and 1 preferably small sheet, and that's all you need. So I'll be using a white pencil so you can see, you don't have to use it. Use this. So I'll have at least 8 minutes from here, or 8 centimeters, and then I'll draw the line so you can see, which is at least 8 centimeters. And then from here, which is at least 10 centimeters. And then you need to draw a line from this part, from the intersecting point from this one, from the edge of this line to the point here. So it's like a triangle. And then you'll need to have another 2 centimeters away and have a little dot here, like a little line. And then make sure it's about as well 2 centimeters on the way out. And then you need to connect that from this point to that point. And once you draw that, you should have something like this. So what you gotta do now is get your scissors in hand, and then you need to cut directly onto this side, and we'll need to cut in the small triangle, which is already cut, as you can see. And for the next part, you need to fold the big triangle, except the small one, which we'll do later, one side. Use your fingernail to crease it down all the way if you need to. That's like the cleanest way I've learned how to do it. And you'll have to bend it on the other, crease it on the other side as well. And you'll do the same for the small triangle. With that, done. So now when you fold it back out, you'll have something like this. And for the next move, you'll need to, from this side, you'll need to push the triangle in, as well as the small one in. So then when it bends, it'll look something like this. So after you fold it, it should look something like this from the outside, where you can see the folds here, while this is the outside. And you can see. So for now, we're gonna apply glue onto this second piece, onto another piece of construction paper, which we'll use as the card, which will look something like this, which will be connected. So now I'm going to be gluing it on. So this is already glued right now, and you'll have something like this. So now what we gotta do is apply another sheet of construction paper, which I've chosen as blue, and make sure you cut something like this in half again. This small origami style, which is available at Daiso. And you'll need to have one like this, and with the ruler, you'll need to have this from one point to the other point and draw a line. And with this, you'll cut this part off with a piece of scissors. And with that, you'll have this part which you can now glue onto the paper, and that will be your start of your card. So now I'm going to take this piece of paper away, and using the old piece of paper that we cut up with, which I'll open up like this, you just need to fold it up again like so. And for the next bit, you'll need to put it onto the small triangle, and then you'll need to take a ruler again, and with this, take another pencil and make a line. And with that, you have your triangle that you can put onto this, and with that, you're ready for the next step. So now, this small triangle is on here, and I'm gonna bring the bigger triangle back. And now what we gotta do is add some glue on the back of it to attach onto this black sheet of paper. And I'm gonna start gluing now. And for the small piece of paper, I'll do the same, except on a black sheet because it's smaller to handle. You can use other pieces of paper on here, but I've chosen blue because because I don't have such patterns. And now, after it's glued, it should look something like that. And you have your first pop-up set up. So now what we need to do is have small pieces of paper like this, which I've chosen green as the stems. So now what we gotta do is use these small strips of green paper as the stems of the flowers. And I already cut some of them up, but I'm gonna show you how to cut them up. And with this piece of paper, you can choose to cut it down here, 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 anywhere that fits your fancy. But for this one, I'm just gonna cut it straight in the middle. So that you'll have a small string like paper like this. And as for a flower that you'll make, you need to fold this in half and make sure you crease it properly because there'll be many creases. And you'll need to fold it in half once more. And then you need to fold it into a triangle. Something like this. And then you'll need to put one edge of this onto this side, in which you'll fold it like this, and it'll look something like that, like a little scone. And then for the next part, you'll need a pencil, and then you'll need to put a little curve here. And with the scissors, you'll need to cut around that curve. It's a bit hard at first, but you'll figure out how to use it, and it'll look something like an ice cream cone. And when you open it up, it'll look like this flower. Okay, so for this, I use this tool from Michaels, and for these small flowers, I use these on a piece of paper that you cut on with, that you press. But if you don't have any of that, you'll have to fold a flower like this, like I said before, and you'll have to cut it like an ice cream cone, and then you have to open it up like that. But you have to make it smaller. But you'll have to make it smaller because this will be a bouquet of flowers, and then if it's smaller, you can fit more and it'll look nicer. So I have a piece of this little strand in my hand. Now we're gonna put the stems onto this bouquet. And since this one is a long one, I'm folding it like this. And then you need to apply a bit of glue on the edge here. And then you'll need to stick that onto the bottom of this. So now you have something like this. Okay, so now for this part, I will now be using this glue and applying these little these stems, applying it to the bouquet, and I will keep doing that. So now what I'm gonna do is after you have glued all of these in, so after gluing in all the stems, like that, it should look something like this. Now, you'll need to get some glue, and you'll need to glue it on. And with that, you're done with gluing one. And I'm using these pre-cut sunflowers here, but make sure that you have one that at least one dot here is all that's enough. And then when you glue it on, that is it. And you need to take at least one, depending on the flower you want to put it on. And because I want to put it on this purple flower here, I'm going to put this little gem dropped, and then I'm going to use this glue and apply it. Okay. So for the next bit, this is not mandatory as well, but you'll need some string to make a little bow at the bottom here, as well it is a bouquet. So I already have this bow right here. Now all we have to do is add, so I'm going to use a glue gun to apply the bow to the bouquet. Again, this is not optional. That's why I didn't include it in the materials that you need. It's more or less just a decoration. And then you just need to apply it. And once you're done, it's completely dry. Don't fold it before that because it will damage the card. And in the meantime, while it's dry, happy July 4th so-and-so. You can keep on making these greeting cards as a happy birthday gift or anything else you want to do. So we are done with our greeting pop-up. And for next video, we're going to show you how to make this. Bye-bye. And take care. Stay safe.